Yeah, so me and three other blokes were crazy enough to try and kayak the Traralgon Creek. You see, we parked on a farmer's paddock, a friend of a friend, and put in and
Is my GoPro straight?
had all sorts of trouble
Is he really gonna make it?
getting down the creek. We didn't put in as far upstream as we thought originally. We were warned off not to go up to where the willows were, but truth, we had enough trouble as it was. There was all sorts of things across the creek, blackberries, and trees, and big clumps of reeds.
I tripped over something.
Travis needed a lot of help
Oh, wow.
this day. He didn't want to get his fancy pants wet. There was a lot of getting off and getting back on again. Nobody really fell off, of course. We weren't going down any rapids. Travis certainly was the first off, and he was suitably laughed at. I laughed also. See, the wind is pretty strong here.
Oh, I can see rapids, Fred!
Got the inside edge on Fred there. Nice turn of speed. I gave up going through these reeds, but then Fred just went straight in, so as you can see I followed him. And once you get the nose in, it's a matter of reaching out, pulling on those reeds to get through. We went through a lot of these reeds.
Paddling through some leaves, or reeds. Paddling through some reeds here. Crazy.
Yeah, I've got lots of video of going through these reeds, but it's not very interesting watching. You can see how damned windy it was. Thankfully we were pretty low, so it didn't really affect us much. So we started, I don't know, I suppose 2-3 kilometres upstream from Shakespeare Street, and it was really only going to take us an hour or so to get into Traralgon, and an hour or so through Traralgon.
Maybe a half.
Took us a lot longer to get into Traralgon. The bit through Traralgon was pretty swift. The rocks that we had to pull across in Traralgon were awful. Sharp, horrible things. The scenery along the paddocks changed a fair bit. There were fence posts in the creek at sunspots. A lot of things to hit. I did try and get Travis off. Too stable though.
It's not gonna happen. Hey, I hit a fucking branch.
Yeah, we very much underestimated how long it would take to get into Traralgon. The original plan was to put in at the bridge on Mattingly Hill Road. It would have been dark, proper dark, before we even got to the concrete factory, I'm guessing.
So we haven't made it to Traralgon yet. We've come about, I'd say, a kilometre. It's been about 50 minutes. This is probably the longest bit we've dragged across, which is about 20 metres. So we've been doing pretty well so far.
I'm about to try my first seal launch at Traralgon Creek. Rob, you need to give me a push.
Oh, woof.
Wonder what the poor people are doing.
Actually, if we put in at Mattingly Hill Road, we definitely just would have given up. From what I hear about the willows. You can see I put up my mast here. These damn things were everywhere. I chucked a couple at Travis. Ended up with a bunch of them on my boat. Whatever they're called. Fluffy things.
Look good while I'm filming.
Oh, sorry.
Why don't you go in?
It was very, very tiring, this kayak. It's absolutely nothing like going down the Thompson or the McAllister. That's the largest rapid that I went down, or that anyone went down. Our lunch stop. Of course I didn't bring any lunch. So this is Shakespeare Street finally. I think it took us around 3 hours to get to here, to Shakespeare Street. We thought it'd take about an hour. And this was typical of the bridges. A lot of rocks under the bridges.
And the shopping trolley fish.
Jack found a bicycle fish. There's the first trolley fish. We found 19 trolley fish. That was the first, and then the 19th was a little bit before Agnes Brereton Park. There's a few obstacles going through Traralgon, but really not many. This is the big drain behind Amigos there. What's that, Lydiard Road or something?
Help me!
This tunnel was longer than it seemed. Fun though.
Yeah, he's coming through.
They're finally entering into Victory Park here, and on there goes Travis down the hill. Did that a couple of times. I missed Jack's launch there. He came down the steep a bit. Travis actually launched his boat without him to start with, which was amusing. Flew down the hill with him standing at the top just watching.
Kayaking under the highway.
We picked up a fan along the way. Bloke on a bicycle rode along and waved at us for a bit. This is just approaching the tennis court area. I think this is the last scene on a boat. And that was it.
Well, that was an
Look
entertaining
at that
kayak.
raindrop right on my face.
A lot of fun to get into Traralgon, and then interesting run through Traralgon. I'm glad we did the early bit, because that was cool.
Yeah.